Hello guys again. I hope you're doing well and I hope you're cooking these delicious meals that I'm presenting to you. We're gonna do something fun today. We're gonna do French fries, but not just any French fries. We're gonna do poutine. You know that Canadian dish that they just love in Canada? I'm gonna try to do this with the Burro bananas. So I just got this from the store. I live in a neighborhood where there are a lot of people from Bangladesh, and this is where I get my Burro. I've been very lucky to be able to have access to this. I could just go down the street 5 minutes and I get this. So I wanted to show you how I peel this. This is not as difficult to peel as the green bananas. This is much easier. So I remove the ends and then I slice it down, and then you can just remove it like that. So what I'm going to do this technique which I used to do when I ate potatoes, the Irish potatoes. You double fry it so that it would be crispy. This does not have a lot of starch in it. This is why Dr. Sebi recommended it, but it has some starch. So that technique, it works. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fry it twice. But what I also did in my testing, you can fry it and then you can put it in your baking dish and bake it instead of frying it twice if you don't want to fry it twice. So I'm going to put this in some water. I have a bowl here with water. I'm going to put this in it. I'm going to peel my other two Burro and then I'm going to get back to you. So I rinsed this out. I peeled it and I rinsed it out. I'm going to do 3 of them. So this banana, this Burro banana, it's more conducive to doing fries with it because it's flat. It's not like the green banana that it has a curve to it and it's skinny. It's skinny. It's like half of this, some of these bananas. This is better because of the shape of it. So I'm going to cut this lengthwise like this, down the middle. And I want those thin fries. So I'm going to cut this again. You see? I'm going to put this in the water. This is not as starchy, but it's a little bit starchy. So you put it in cold water because that is going to give you crispier fries when you remove the starch. So you soak it like you would do if you were doing potatoes, which we don't eat anymore. So I'm going to cut this down lengthwise like I showed you. And then you want those thin, I don't know, like the Matchbox fries. This one is a little smaller, so see? So I'm going to finish doing that and then get back to you. So I'm removing this from the water and I'm going to dry it out with some paper towel. And it has to be dry when you're doing French fries. So I'm just going to show you what I do. I cut this in strips, very thin strips, because I want those like Matchbox French fries, like this. And don't worry about this part here, because once it's fried and it gets brown, this is gonna disappear. You're not gonna see that. See, like that. I mean, if you want it thicker, you can do it thicker, but I'm doing it like very thin strips. So I'm going to finish doing, and I'm going to put this back into the water. Actually, I'm going to put this back into the water to remove whatever starches are in there. So when I'm done, I'm going to come back. So I wanted to show you here, I have the Burro that I cut up into these slices looking like French fries, and I had it soaking in the water, just the amount of time it took me to slice everything up, not very long. So just please do this, because this is going to help with your crispiness of your fries. And now I'm drying this in the paper towel. We're gonna dry this really well. You don't want any wetness on this at all, because when you put it in the oil, of course it's going to splatter. So I even like to just dry this individually. I know it's time consuming, but I like to do this individually. So let's go to the stove and fry these. So let's fry this now. I have my hot oil here, some grapeseed oil in this pan. It has to be hot. It has to look like this with the bubbles, because you don't want the oil to soak through this. The oil has to be hot. I think this is good. I'm not going to put any more. So the technique is you fry this for about 2 minutes or less, a minute or two, and because we're frying this twice, this is what is going to give it the crispiness. You fry it twice. So I'm going to remove this from here before it starts to get brown. The oil was very hot. I don't even need to put this here for 2 minutes. A minute. I would say a minute, because it's not even a minute yet since I've been talking and put this in here. I'm going to remove all of this right now. I'm going to remove this. I'm going to let it sit for about 5 minutes or so and fry it again, or I put it in a pan and put it in the oven. I'm going to fry another batch and then show you the next step. These are the fries I had here that I fried before. It's been sitting here for about 3 to 5 minutes. Now I'm going to do the second fry. This is my second fry. So the first fry is for about a minute, no more than a minute. I would say even less, because then it would start to get brown. So this is my second fry, and I'm going to let this fry until it gets brown. And you would have very crispy Burro fries. So those of you who don't want to fry, because some people complain about frying too much, I don't have a problem with it. You can bake this. So I'm putting this in a baking dish, and you put it in the oven 375 degrees until it gets brown, or you know, the color that you want it. So I'm gonna put this in my oven. So I'm giving you 2 ways to do this. You fry it once and then you put it in the oven to finish it up, or you fry it twice. As you can see here, this is starting to get brown here. This is starting to get brown, and it feels so crispy. It feels so hard and crispy. Hard in a good way. Hard, crispy. So this I'm going to remove in a few seconds. And that's it. And then I'm going to show you the next step, because what I want to do is that dish from Canada, a very popular dish in Canada, the poutine, with the cheese curd and the gravy. So this is good to go. See, doesn't this look like fries, like French fries? So you're gonna do this, and we're gonna do the next step when we get back. See how beautiful this looks? Doesn't this look like French fries? So I'm gonna show you the next step. So guys, I have some dried mushrooms here. This is something you need to have always in your on hand in your home, because you could reconstitute this, and this is good for gravies, sauces, for flavor. So for our poutine, because for poutine you have to do this gravy with the french fries. You don't have to do the gravy, you could just do the french fries that I showed you with the burro, and you eat it with the homemade ketchup that I made the other day. So I'm going to reconstitute this. So what you do is you take some dry mushrooms and you take some hot water and you put in it like this, and then you let it sit for about 10-15 minutes to reconstitute. And I'm going to use this for my gravy for my french fries. So guys, this is the fries that I put in the oven. It was in the oven for about 10 minutes. So again, it depends. This started to get too hard here. I don't know, I'm feeling it, and you know, you can hear it. So it's crispy. And this is hot. This is what I fried twice. And of course you salt it. And you know, it feels the same way to me. So those of you who don't want to be frying twice, you're concerned about fried foods, you could just do it in the oven. I'm just giving you options. So we're gonna make the gravy now. Let me just put this all in one batch. So my mushrooms are reconstituting. You see the water is starting to get brown. So what you have to do with this, you have to strain it, because sometimes there is some residue in this, like some dust or whatever. So I'm going to strain this, and then we're gonna start doing our gravy. So guys, we're gonna make this gravy here now. So you know, you start out with some oil or butter, or oil and butter. I don't have any vegan butter on hand today, and I wanted to do this for you. You don't need the butter, you can use oil for your gravy. So I'm gonna let this, I have this on medium low, and I'm going to add some white spelt flour to this. This is about a tablespoon. I'm not doing a lot. Turn on the light here, and we're gonna cook this. Because I don't want this too thick, because you're gonna pour this over the french fries. And the cheese that we made together, I know you wanted to see the result of it, and I already used half of the cheese when I made some pizza some days ago. So I'm going to use the cheese in this gravy here. So this is good. I'm going to add some pepper flakes. I don't have onion, not pepper flakes, what am I saying? Some onion flakes. I don't have powder. I use the flakes. And this is the mushrooms, the dry mushrooms that I reconstituted. I'm going to add it here. And this is going to start thickening up. This is going to start thickening up. And this is all I'm going to add to it. I don't want too much. I mean, there's not too much I can put in there, because the Canadians, they do a lot with their gravy, but we are on a special diet, so we have to It's not too much. So all I'm doing here is the flour, the oil, or if you have vegan butter. You see this is starting to thicken up. And I have here some miso paste, chickpea miso, and chickpea tamari sauce. I'm going to add this here for some more flavor. And then I'm going to add the tomato ketchup that we made, the homemade tomato ketchup or catsup. See, this is thickening up nicely. I'm going to put this on low and let it simmer on low. Let the onion flakes cook and get in there, and let me add the tomato ketchup, and that's it, and that's your gravy. This is my tomato ketchup. I have it in my mason jar here. I'm going to add just this much. This has a beautiful color. And we're going to put this over the French fries. I'm going to add, let me add a few pieces of the cheese. Let me show you the cheese. This is thickening up nicely. And I love the color here. Add the rest here. Waste not, want not. So here is the cheese. I used half of the cheese that when I made pizza a few days ago. So this is the cheese, see? You can cut it. You can cut it like this, see? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit into the sauce. So we have like a cheese sauce over your French fries. I'm gonna only put this much, and this you can grate this and put it over the French fries as well. So I'm gonna stir this in. This is looking good. And we're gonna put this over our fries, and I'm gonna get back to you. So guys, here are our Burro fries. Doesn't it look like potato fries? I mean, we eat with our eyes first. So this is how you get people to change the way that they eat and to stop eating the potatoes, which has cyanide in it. So I also wanted to show you that, you know, to grate the cheese. This is the cheese here that we made together. See, I started grating it here. I have a box grater that you grated, see? So it's hard enough that you can grate it. So what we're gonna do is, I'm going to take my gravy. This is the gravy. Doesn't it look good? It's delicious. And we're going to drizzle it over the French fries. You can put as much as you want. This is looking good. I wish, you know, it's like after 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't eat before 5:30, so I'm not going to cheat. And you sprinkle some cheese on this. And that's our poutine. That's my version of poutine. So I hope the Canadians who watch my channel, I hope you try this if you want to. I cannot wait until 5:30 to try this. I think it looks delicious. The gravy, I think it's great. If you like and you don't want to use the mushroom as the sauce to do the gravy, you can do like a vegetable broth and get a different flavor on it. But I love mushrooms, and I love mushroom gravy and mushroom sauces. So I hope you try this. I think it looks good, and I wish you good health. Take care.